name's Alex West, and I'm a practitioner of Chi Nei Tsang, translated as internal intestine energy. If you're watching this, then you're either interested or finding out more about this healing art that's focusing on helping to harmonise the flow of energy through the abdominal area. Chi means energy, Nei means internal, Tsang means organs, the energy of your internal organs. Self-treatment is a part of any Chi Nei Tsang program, and whether it's before or after the Chi Nei Tsang treatment, you want to help accumulate the benefits of the release of the flow of energy by doing self-treatment. So this is recommended for people who've had a Chi Nei Tsang before, and also have been through the questionnaires to make sure that they don't have any medical conditions that are going to be contraindicated, because it's very important not to do Chi Nei Tsang unless you've spoken to a qualified practitioner and established that it's safe for you to do so. And if you have medical conditions, you should always refer yourself to a medical practitioner, of course. So, opening up the energy gates. The first thing you need to do is take your thumb somewhere between the pubic bone and the navel and press your thumb in. You can then use a hand to support that, and what I recommend you do is you just then slowly lean into the pressure. You sink your thumb as deep as you can go until you get to the edge of pain, or as far as you can go. You hold it there for a few beats and then release. And these are opening energy gates, releasing energetic winds from the body. And you can just help clear these points with your hands. So now the next point, if you can imagine on the navel there's a cross, a line going down and a line going across. There's a point just on the rim of the navel below, above, to the right and to the left, connecting with each of the organs specific to those points. The heart above, the bladder below, kidney to one side, kidney to the other side. There's also an X going down to the diagonal, connected to the large intestines. On either side, at the bottom, liver on the top right-hand side, stomach and spleen and pancreas on the left-hand side. I want to open up all of these gates. Let's start below, as if it's like number 6. 6 o'clock on a clock. So just below. And look, you're not in the navel, you're not below, you're just on the rim of the navel. You press in with the thumb. Again, same procedure. You sink it in, press in, let that thumb sink in. It's how I'm going as deep as I can until I can't get any further, or I get to the edge of pain. And then I hold it there. Hold it. And then just gradually release. And again, you can just help release the winds, as it's called in Taoist medicine. The winds is just the chi energy, the stuck or stagnant chi energy that you want to release from your body, because you want healthy, fresh, clear energy flowing from your body. Now, we're going to go from there across to the right side. This point connects to, it's to the left side, actually. The left side to your left kidney. In the descending colon, press the thumb in. Same procedure. So it's like a shiatsu pressure in some ways. In that when you press into a point, an acupressure point, and these are also acupressure points of sorts, the pressure causes changes in the physiology of the fascia. The fascia is the connective tissue that wraps around every organ, tissue, cell, and gland and muscle in the body. It's a bit like cling film. If you've ever torn apart a piece of meat, you know, this sort of thin cling film type thing. Now I just felt a little change coming back out. Sweep it away. Into the point above the navel, going up towards the heart, connects with the tissues associated with the heart. Press in, sink in. Did you hear what I just said? I said I felt a little change. So how long do I hold this pressure for? I sink in until they are, the edge of pain's a little bit closer here, so maybe there's a little bit of a knot or a tangle in that part of the intestine. So I'm holding it. Hold it until I feel a little change, or I feel like I want to take it out. You have to use a little bit of intuition. But if you don't feel anything, just hold it for a few beats, 5 or 6 seconds. It's absolutely fine. Brush it. Going to the right hand side, again, edge of the navel, just on the rim of the navel, press in. Vertically, I'm pressing in towards the very inside of the body. Press in, hold. And the effect of pressure on the fascia connective tissues is it increases the conductivity of those tissues. It helps the contents of the cells move around and flow across membranes. Let's release that. Okay, sweep it away a little bit. And then go to the diagonal. So now we're going down to the bottom left towards the descending sigmoid colon, and women also, they'll have the ovary down there. So we're going to press in. We're going to repeat this procedure for each of the ones. So it's useful to understand what's going on as well. When you apply pressure to fascia tissue, the cells, fasciocytes are membranes, and the cells in the membrane, they have contents. The cell has contents. And around the sort of outside of the cell, there's a cytogel. Cyto just means cell. There's a cell gel. And the pressure on the connective tissues causes that cell to turn into more of a solution, so less of a gel and more of a solution. And the solution moves more freely, and the nutrients that a cell needs and the waste products it needs to get rid of flow more freely across the membranes. That's what I mean by when I say we're increasing conductivity. Just sweep away. And then go up to the top left, going up towards the spleen and pancreas, press in, sweep away, and press in, press in, press in, deep as you can, and hold it there. A few seconds. And then slowly release. Pressure also helps with the flow of the subtle energy, chi, that's thought to flow through the tendons and the fascia as well. Press in to the top right hand corner. So all this stuff about chi and energy, you don't have to believe in any of it. With all of these things, they work on an energetic level and a fundamental physiological level as well. Pressing in. So if you can imagine just massaging a muscle, well, muscles benefit from a massage. Organs also benefit from massage. Why? Just releases little tensions. And tensions, if you can imagine, imagine there's a flow of energy through the material of this fabric, or a flow of fluid. If you take the thing through which something flows, twist it up, constrict it, then things aren't going to flow quite so easily. The reason massage works, whether it's for organs or for muscles, is because when you release some of those tensions, it allows the flow to happen more easily. And flow is better, because when you restrict flow, things stagnate. When flow flows, it's like running water. Just release that. Come down to the bottom right, go down towards the colon, the start of the ascending colon, the appendix and the cecum. Press in there, diagonal, hold it down. So energy of the body and the fluids of the body is very much like water. If water flows fast, like a mountain spring, it's clear and fresh, cool and good to drink. If the water doesn't move, if it's restricted, it's more like a pond, not necessarily unpleasant, but a bit more stagnated and less oxygenated, and certainly not as clear, and probably not quite as nice to drink, which is why it's good to keep the circulation of the body flowing. And the circulation of the fluids in the body is just as important as the circulation of energy. So if you don't believe in energy, you don't have to. Just try doing the practices, the Taoist practices, Tai Chi, Qi Gun, meditation, Chi Nei Tsang, adjusting your diet, the sexual energy practices. All of these things help to increase the quantity and the quality of the prana, the life force flowing through your body. Just release. And that was the last one. So just going to brush away, brush down. There are certain exit channels to help the winds of the body or the energy flow out. And those channels run down the side of the body, the gallbladder meridian. They run down the outside front of the body, the stomach meridian, and down the back of the body where the bladder meridian is. They're like exit channels. So with Chi Nei Tsang, because we're releasing energies that have been locked away a little bit, we want to help move those out just by brushing down and brushing down. If I'm doing a Chi Nei Tsang, so they'll help. I'll sort of sweep it down like that. If you're doing with yourself, you just brush it down like so. So we've opened those exit channels, those points. The next thing to do is open the next channel of release, which is the large intestine. So you go to the left-hand corner, your left-hand corner, because in there is where the descending colon turns into the rectum. And that's a tricky little S shape. It's called the sigmoid colon, because it's sigmoid means an S shape, like a sigmoid graph. And those are tricky corners to get around. So we want to help release the flow through those. So if you just press your fingers in, lean in, and just sort of scoop gently. Scoop gently, sort of sinking down. Here's the hip bone, and we're just in front of the hip bone, we just sink in and just scoop gently. And we continue around the path of the large intestine, going backwards. The large intestine starts on the right hand side, goes up, across, and down. We don't want to release the flow on the right hand side because there might be a block here, then it will build up. We want to release here where the exit points are and then work our way backwards, which we'll do. Just gently pressing in and just scooping in. Pressing in and scooping. Gently massaging all around the muscles and skin that lie directly above the large intestine. You can press in and scoop. It's one of the techniques we use. All the way around. Another is to press in and then just make sort of big circles. So just circling, we just want to help physically move the circulation through this area to help release blockages in the intestines. Because the large intestine has a dual function in Taoist medicine. One, of course, is the formation and the release of the feces, the waste products of digestion. It's also energetically responsible for the release of negative emotions, because we have to digest emotions as much as food. And sometimes we hold on to experiences, they're not very digestible, some emotional experiences. I'm sure we've all had experiences that we don't think are particularly pleasant or digestible. And just opening up the large intestine is opening up one of the exit channels for the energies and the emotions of the body, because we want to clear the flow. There's nothing wrong with having emotions. What we don't want to do is get stuck in any one emotion. Keeping the flow through the abdomen is one of those ways. We feel emotions in the abdomen, unarguably. Now, everybody feels emotions in the abdomen, unless you're completely not. So you don't feel any emotions at all. Most of us, we feel emotions in the abdomen, so it makes sense. If we want emotions to move through the pathway, not get stuck in any one particular place, having a healthy flow through the abdomen is useful. So the next initial stage of opening up the abdominal area of Chi Nei Tsang is just with a little bit of skin detoxification. Now, the way this works is you just start to move the skin over the surface of the muscles. Now, you don't have to do it on bare skin, you can do it through a t-shirt, it's just sometimes useful to see. So it's not like this. I'm not rubbing my hands over the surface of the skin. I'm pressing the skin down, then moving the skin over the surface of the muscles underneath. Or the flesh, whatever it is. I'm just moving around. And I'm going around the navel, just circling around. Because this navel area is a key exit point, the intestine is a key exit point. And by starting to detoxify the skin a little bit by moving it around, helps to stimulate the lymphatic system as well, which is also a detoxification system. The lymphatic system is like a set of filters through your body which filter the tissue fluids of your body, take out the waste products, and keep you nice and fresh and clear and fragrant on the inside. So I'm just going to show this to you. So just this bit of your fingers, press in lightly, circle around. And start around the navel, circling around and around. Moving further out, making bigger circles. And we're also just plasticizing the abdominal area. Sometimes, tensions. You get tensions, you can tense up, and sometimes those tensions stay. This is also a way of just working in a more general way with the abdominal area, just to release it, to massage, get a bit softer. You don't want hard, rocky knots of tension in your abdominal area. And Chi Nei Tsang is very much about releasing those hard, rocky knots of tension. So that is the initial preparation for a bit of self-treatment on Chi Nei Tsang. We'll stop there, we'll go on to the next video, which will be starting to work with some of the knots. Now, to finish, just brush down, sweep it out, because it releases these sick winds, as it were, unhealthy energy. You want those out, and fresh, clear energies coming in. And then, we're not just going to leave it there, we've opened things up. So if we've opened things up, it's a good idea to close it. So to close it, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to track around the intestine, going in the direction of the flow. So from up the right-hand side, cross, down the left-hand side. And then I can circle that around. And now I'm just going to, we opened up these points around the navel, I'm going to close those gates just by squeezing in towards the navel and holding that for a little bit. Just then brush it down, squeezing from the bottom and top up, and then brush it down. Squeezing from the top right, bottom left, squeeze together, and brush it down the other side, squeeze together. Now I'm going to circle around just to create that, see if I can create a little bit of warmth in that navel area, and then brush down, maybe even stamp the feet a little bit, or hit the feet a little bit, to exit points, ground the energy of the body. Now I'm going to finish by holding my hands over the navel, just doing a very brief Taoist meditation, just looking down inwardly, and imagining a sun or a ball of fire behind the navel, and smiling to all of my internal organs, smiling to my heart, generating love and warmth in my heart. Smiling to my lungs, generating courage and uprightness and honesty, kindness and humour, good humour in the liver, serenity and fairness and stability in the pancreas, gentleness and confidence in the kidneys. Smiling to all of my organs, smiling to that ball of fire, and just see if I can create a little bit of warmth with my hands and with my mental concentration on that area. That inner smile technique is one of the basics of the Taoist practice. The inner smile is what it's called. You can find out more about those meditations on my website, alexwestyoga.co.uk. And then just brush away. And that's a general, overall self-treatment technique for people who are undertaking Chi Nei Tsang treatments. It's not advised for anybody if they're not already under treatment by a qualified Chi Nei Tsang practitioner. If you want to find out more about that, you can leave some comments below or contact me, alexwestyoga@gmail.com.